Hey, and welcome back to Yogi's Garage. Today we're working on my Turbo S. Specifically, the passenger door window is not rolling down when I open it. So there's something going on with the regulator and I need to figure it out. So with that, let's fix it. So in order to better understand not only taking the door panel off, that's going to be pretty straightforward. I've done that before. But I also need to understand the mechanism in which the window actuates down a few millimeters so that it gets below the lip. As you saw, it's not doing that. I got myself a workshop manual. Obviously, I got one when I rebuilt Pepper's engine and did some other heavy-duty maintenance on it. I needed a book like this to help me out. So this is where we're at. I'm going to take the panel off, but then we also need to look at how the window works. And this is where this part of the workshop manual is invaluable, is that it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to adjust the door window angle. And then as well as the height of it is controlled by this little set screw here. So I'm going to go through all of that. It's going to let me know what the thickness should be, what the distance should be right there, and then whether or not I can identify that scratchy noise you heard when the window rolled down. Clunk. I mean, that sounds painful. Yes, I know this color is incredible. And for those of you guys who don't know what this color is, this is not cranberry, this is not terracotta, but this is Boxster red. And it's, I wouldn't say it's super rare, but you don't see Boxster red too much, especially in a 911. But it looks fantastic. In my opinion, I think it looks better than the red leather, even though it looks super hot. This looks better. It's more subtle, slightly less annoying to the eyes. Okay, so I've got all of the trim tools here that I'm gonna need, and I'll get my Allen keys and all of that that's necessary. But the first thing I need to do, obviously, is to get the panel off by taking this little piece off here. And what I want to make sure is that I need to protect everything on this door because, like I said, it's pretty rare. All right, so let's get started. It's part of the handle that broke off, and now that broke off some more, but you can see the glue, the adhesive. So there is one bit that broke right there and was already welded once before. Okay, well, let me see if I can, yeah, see, it's so brittle. All right, well, I'll have to figure something out later. All right, I'm going to be using a combination of pries here and just kind of pop these loose. Don't be freaking out if you break them, right? You should expect it. And I'll put a link below in the affiliate section for new rivets that replace these because they have a little felt pad on them, so you got to be careful about what kind you buy. The felt pad is obviously for sound dampening and keep the vibrations down. Okay. There'll be a Bowden cable right here, disconnect so that this pull handle releases. And there might be a light, because I think there's a light under here. There might be a small little 2-wire plug or something. Yeah. Not too bad. Hey, look, the original color. All right, let me get this out of here. I want to put it somewhere safe. So right away, I can tell you there's something missing. There's a vapor barrier that's missing right here. You can see the remnants here of the adhesive. And if you've seen my previous videos, when I did the doors on Pepper over here, you'll know that there's a foam vapor barrier. So I'll have to make a note of that. But what I'm really interested in seeing is what is making that awful scratching noise. Well, I can tell you that it might be this focal speaker box This is not the OEM speaker box. It's nicer, I mean, I guess. And these speakers have seen better days, but they're good quality. Focal is really nice. If you guys know who Focal is and how good quality they are, let me know. I don't know much about Focal, but they did a pretty good job running it, tying it into the system. But there's something weird going on. Let me roll the window down. And it's right behind here. All right, I'm gonna take this speaker out. There we go. It's fantastic. This thing is a fiberglass enclosure. Wow, okay. Well, they didn't make it easy for me to get it out by putting connectors here, but hopefully they gave me some length. This thing's heavy. Look at that. Whoa. Yeah, I know what that is. I know what that is. So this right here is the window mechanism that rolls the window up and down, and it's cable driven. So that noise that you're hearing is the cable loose on the inside. I think it either popped a gear or something. So I'm gonna have to take these 3 10 mils off to pop the regulator out and take a look at it, because I think that's what it is. All right, at least we got something, right? So there's an old trick to test the speaker on whether or not the magnet on the back is still good and if it will react to voltage. So here's a little 9 volt, and just keep an eye on the woofer. And so basically that's how you know that the speaker is still good. It's also a good way of tracing speakers if you're trying to figure out which wire is which. But this is a good speaker, so that's good. And I'm gonna have to do that for all of the speakers, because I believe the amplifier is blown on this car. Speaking of this car, look at this thing. Come on. Look at those peepers. Yeah, you like that? Check this out. Look at these peepers. Uh-huh. Look at those sparkles. You know, I never noticed that the Carreras are ribbed. It's ribbed chrome, and the turbo is just chrome. I like that. All right, what I need to do now is get this glass out, because we've already determined that it is the regulator that's the problem. So in order to get the glass out, I have to raise the glass up to the highest position. And typically, when you open the door is going to drop a few millimeters. So you got to trick the door into thinking the door is closed. And you basically slide a screwdriver into the latch there, and it'll trigger it up. This guy isn't working, so it's already in the upward position. So the next thing you got to do is loosen the 2 T30 screws behind these plugs. One of them's already out. And again, you don't want to take the actual screw out. You just want to loosen it up. You should probably have a place to put this glass when you're ready. Okay. There we go. Straight out. Pretty easy. All right, the glass is out. Now I should be able to get to the regulator. I gotta loosen up the screws on the bottom, as well as the ones behind the airbag. So you know what that means, folks. I gotta disconnect the battery and wait a few minutes before we do anything so that the power discharges from this thing. All right, let me go ahead and do that. This is a nice car, it really is. And I heard the ground. Okay, all right. All right, just take this mechanics pick and unclip it like that, right? And just disconnect it, just like that. Then you're gonna take your 10 mil tool and back these bolts out, and this should come straight out. Should just come off like that. And here are the remains of the vapor barrier or moisture barrier. And they didn't replace this part. I'm just gonna leave it like that because I don't need to take it off. It's still glued. What I wanted to do is get to the wiring harness back here. I don't know if I needed to do that. All right, whatever, okay. And there, that gives you access. See, that gives you access to the harness here. All right, now that the motor's out, you got to get those 3 studs off of the motor here. That way the motor will come off the regulator and you can separate the motor. There. All right, so now that the motor's out, I'm going to reconnect it to the connector to see if the motor is the problem. I don't think it is, but we'll confirm that this way. So, let's see what we got. Listen to that. That is a perfect motor. Cool. All right. So we don't need to worry about that. So it's pretty much confirmed that the problem is the regulator, which is this component, which is very common to break down, and I think the coil in here has unsprung, and that's what's making all of that noise. And there's 4 10 mils, 1, 2, and then 2 on the bottom. There's 2 of them. So make sure you open the right one. It's the 2 inner ones, the ones closest to the center. Yes. So you may have some zip ties holding this thing together. This is a Porsche zip tie, by the way. This is not something that I did, but I think the whole point is that the regulator crisscrosses right here in the middle, these cables. And you want to keep them from getting tangled up. So this is what this official Porsche zip tie will do. Let's cut that. All right, let's go take a look at this. Okay, so the regulator that I pulled out is right here. It's really hard to tell if there's anything wrong with it. I think if there's going to be an issue, it's going to be right in here. In fact, I know there's going to be an issue in here. So I priced the Porsche version OEM of this, and it's $367 at FCP Euro. Or you can go with a certified lifetime warranty Euro brand and pay about half of that. It's about $140 at Pelican. This is the part number for the passenger side. 076 is the indicator. 075 is the driver's side. So this is the passenger side indeed. And this is what it looks like. All right, so this is it. A little bit different. This guy has some kind of ribbed covering over the cables. And this is using a normal foam of some type. This is the model. No way of telling that it's new, except that it has grease in it that is not all dried up and caked off like this guy over here. All right, let's go put this in the car and put everything back together. Let's do it. All right, so there's really only one way to get this in. You want the gear mechanism facing outward like that, so that you can reattach it. all pretty much 10 mil bolts. Those two are hand tightened in. Let's do the next two. Probably 10 Newton meters on these bolts, right? Because they're 6 mil. Nothing special, nothing super difficult to do. All right, just like that. Bottoms out. That's all you want to do. Okay. Like that, see? Now I just want to kind of walk these in evenly. Underneath, you want to make sure that you kind of line them up where they used to be. So you may have to crawl underneath there to see, you know, exactly where they were sitting because it's a slot underneath. Yeah, I can see the scratch marks where it used to sit. So we'll start there. Yeah, right there. Hey, regulators in. Before I put this window back in, I want to clean it because you can see, and it's really dirty. And like everything in Yogi's garage, nothing ever goes back dirty. It always goes back clean. So with that, and there. Pretty easy to do, folks. Just take the time, do the job right, and put everything back clean, man. That way when the next time you got to take this thing out, you'd be like, dang, this thing is clean. This has been a Yogi's Tech Tip. So more than likely, these clamps that hold the glass in are probably in their tight position. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's make sure, yeah, these are tight. T30, it's a little skippy. Nice clean glass. There we go. All right, let's make sure. Should be sitting between the clamp, not in front of the clamp. Yep, looks good. Okay, let's clamp them in. See? Good. We're in. Okay, so before we button everything up, we got to test to make sure that this guy is going to go down when I open the door and up when I close the door. Well, let's check the mechanics of the window first to make sure everything is buttoned in. Ooh, do you see that? All right, let's do that again. All the way up and watch. Boo! Look at that. That's what it's supposed to do. All right, let me check everything else to make sure that it's not bottoming out on the bottom here and do the paper test here at the top to make sure I have enough clearance. Okay, so I've got it reinitialized. The trick with reinitializing is you got to long press both windows up, long press both windows down. Do that a couple of times, it'll reinitialize and figure out where the stop is. But you can see the stop here is wrong. This should be further down, so you're looking at about probably 3 centimeters. All right, I'm doing the paper trick here where you raise the window up to make sure that the rake here is accurate. And I can tell you that it's a little low on this side because I can see the end of the glass. Up here it's a little high, so I'm going to use the adjustments on the bottom to get it. But technically, you should not be able to pull this out. But if I slide this over, it becomes increasingly easier. So I'm a little off on this side. I'm going to adjust it with a counterclockwise turn. It should raise it. So let me do that. Yeah, that's better. That is better. Cannot pull this out. Let's see if it drops. Hey, close. There you go. All right. Yeah, so you can see even after a short amount of time working, I tend to get really disorganized in here. Now I started putting my boxed ends and my open ends right here, as well as my extensions. This works out really well. This is a screwdriver divider that I took out of my toolbox. What I need a place to like store my torque wrenches out of the way, so I don't have to keep going back all the way over there to the toolbox. I can just boom, boom, grab it. So Yogi Mama did something for me that I think is gonna work out real great.
Hey, what's up? Sorry to interrupt your video, but I wanted to let you know that I'm actually editing that part of the video right now. And it's 12:30 in the morning. So, hey, would you do me a favor? Now that I have your attention, can you hit the subscribe button? Because I've been busting my butt making this video, and I hope you're getting something out of it. And all I ask is that you hit the subscribe if you're not a subscriber, or, I'm sorry. Or if you could just hit that thumbs up for me. Okay, thanks. Back to the video.
This is a broom holder clip you could get, I think, at Target or Amazon or whatever. I think I'm gonna mount it right here and screw it in, put some tape on it, and I think it's gonna hold my large torque wrench no problem. Let me see. Let's check it out. Look at that. That works out real well. I used double-sided sticky tape, and then I followed it up with some simple screws, and there you go. I mean, it's not going anywhere. And I'll do the other one over there. Cool. Okay. I had 3 of them, so I used all 3. I got my large torque wrench, mid-grade, which is the one that I'll use a lot, and then my 1/4-inch high-speed electric ratchet there. So lots of space still to do stuff across here and here. I think if I can find some that can hold this, you know, get these out of the way, I'll have a nice, clean tray. But it's looking better. Let's get back to work. Yeah, I bet you guys thought I was gonna leave it like that, huh? I bet you were pointing at the screen going, hey, wait a minute. That is the Boxster level of the regulator. So I need to open the door up and take the panel off and take off the little stopper that I forgot. Yeah, so right here is called the Boxster stop. Well, that's what I call it. That's what my friend called it. Bruce told me about it. He goes, hey, did you take the Boxster stop out? And I was like, oh, God, dog it. No, I didn't. One Boxster stop. Okay, let's lower the window. It's completely down now. All right, fine. Okay, now I'm done. I'm gonna put the door panel back on. All right, guys, thanks for watching this video. As promised, I've got the conclusion to the suspension and braking video coming up next week, so stay tuned.